Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, everybody? Morning Deuce. Another quick one because I am powering through this week, which is my last week of work, trying to get a bunch of things done to get ready to go pro. I have a new favorite social media network, and it's Venmo. I know what you guys are thinking. Dave, Venmo's not a social media network. That's just the random thing that you use to pay people, which is also like one of the best inventions ever. But like, you don't have to split a bill anymore. Someone can just put it on their card, and the other person can just send them the money automatically through an app on their phone. But what I don't understand is Venmo decided to make itself a social media app. And they have, like, you can make your transactions public, and you have to post a reason, and people can like and comment on them. And nobody does, except me. Recently, whenever I go on there because someone sent me money or I have to send someone money, whenever I go on, I look at the main page and just look at a bunch of transactions that happen, and I just like people's transactions because it's really weird. You know that they got a notification being like, why is this person liking the fact that I spent $12 and gave it to my friend to buy beer? Like, why is someone liking that? And then I write comments. Like, if it's a cute girl, I write underneath, I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? You know, just weird comments like that. Just like real weird stuff. Or just like, hope you guys had fun. That's a good one. I'm taking Venmo social media to the next level because I think it's so dumb that people are making the reason that they're Venmoing other people money a public thing. Like, you can make it just between the two people who are in the transaction. No one needs to know what you're spending money on to give to each other. But if you're going to do it, if you're going to put it out there, I'm going to make it weird. Because we already have everybody knowing enough about each other. We do not need to be sharing why we're paying for every single thing that we're paying for. So I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to like something awkward. I'm going to comment uncomfortably. I'm going to do one right now. You know what? I'm about to whip out the phone right now. We're flipping on Venmo. We'll see. It is very early in the morning. And let's just pick one right here. Here we go. This is the best. This one says, Heather paid Brett for root canals. We're going to like that. Oh, this one's really awkward. This one says, Cody paid Sarah $69 plus $14.54 minus $27.50 equals $56.04. $27.50 Cox bill. Like, that person is billing their friend, and for some reason they made it public, and I don't understand. So I'm going to comment right underneath it and be like, you guys are getting hosed on your cable bill. Also, I heard you can save 15% or more on your insurance by switching to Geico. P.S. Good job with the math. See, nailed it. And then I'll also throw a like too, so it's a double win. So someone's going to know that in the wee hours of the morning I just wrote that. Because not everyone needs to know exactly why your entire bill breakdown. You know, that doesn't make sense. Matthew Pintoni is paying my friend Zach. Pay him. Pay that man his money. A great Rounders quote. One of my favorite quotes of all time. I'm going to like it. That actually made me happy. That's the first social media transaction I've seen. But then I'm going to write something underneath it that's like, you are both total suckers. Boom. Killed it. So now this is uncomfortable because they're both going to get notifications too, and they're not going to know that I'm reading this loud on the podcast. So if you have Venmo, I encourage you to look through Venmo to people that you don't know, or like but you haven't talked to in a long time, that are making transactions public for no reason and clicking a button on them. This one just says just the tip. I'm going to like that one too, just because it's funny. So yeah, go out and get awkward, because there's no need to share this much about transactions with one another. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to expose yourself, I'm going to make you feel weird. Speaking of exposing yourself, electric transition, the Rio Olympics, just read the article, are 450,000 condoms enough? Because that's how many free condoms they gave out at the Olympic Village. Again, right now, Ryan Lochte probably in the mid-40s to 50s in women since he made it to the Olympic Village. That's a guesstimate. I think we're on day 4 of the Olympics. So he is rolling through Rio, literally. Are 450,000 condoms enough? That's the question. Well, 100,000 of them are female condoms. And no one uses female condoms. I mean, I'm not like bragging, like, I'm rolling in it over here. I'm just saying, I have my ear to the ground. I have my nose to the streets. I run the podcast world in the most minute way possible. I'm pretty confident the ratio is not 4.5 to 1 of male use to female condom use. So if it was 450,000 condoms, maybe that would be enough. But right now, there's probably half the female condoms having even been unloaded from the truck into the Olympic Village. Like, they're just collecting dust in a warehouse. There's no way those all 100,000 female condoms are going to be used. I just refuse to believe it. The Rio Olympics haven't been that fun yet, which is weird because I love swimming. It's a huge background of mine. But for some reason, it just doesn't have the pizzazz this year. I actually think the most exciting part of the Olympics is going to be like 3 months after the Olympics, when we figure out if Olympians did in fact bring Zika back to their home countries. I mean, that's the real sport. The real sport is like, did my country win medals and also not bring back a possible epidemic-oriented disease? And in Florida, I think 2 locally transmitted versions of Zika have happened in Miami-Dade County. So if you live in the Miami area, watch out, because Zika is finally floating around and there's transfers on U.S. soil. So get excited for that, because the most exciting part of the Rio Olympics is going to be that, like, are we going to start an epidemic as soon as it's over? That's crazy. That's the end of part 1. For part 2, one of my favorite childhood bands was, for a decade, they stopped playing, and they're on their first reunion tour. The first 2 shows have been the last 2 nights. I love them. They're called Piebald. I love them because they're from right where I grew up. I saw a bunch of concerts when I was little. Was a huge event with all my friends. They're fantastic. My brother's band opened for them for probably 5 or 6 shows every Christmas. Felt like for 5 or 6 years. Maybe that's more, but at least 4. And I read or heard somewhere that the music that you loved and listened to when you were 14 is the music that your brain, for some reason, will always go back to and like the most. You have like some nostalgic vibe for whatever your music you listened to when you were 14 or 15. And this was that music for me. I mean, these were like the first concerts of my life. And they are going on a tour across the country, which is cool. So I haven't listened to that much of them in a very long time, and I flicked on a couple songs from some of their albums in honor of the start of the reunion tour. So maybe you're in a nostalgic mood and you want to throw on a CD of 1 or 2, bands you listened to when you were 14 or 15 and get a vibe going. I'll give you permission to do that today. You didn't need my permission, but I'm giving it to you. You might know of Piebald because if you were a fan of Friday Night Lights, the TV show, in Tim Riggins' house, they had a poster about with Piebald, like some band poster, some band listing poster, and Piebald was on the top of it. I'm probably the only person on the planet besides the actual scene directors and people who put it out there who even know that. But yeah. Anyway, Piebald's good. I'm going to play us out with Piebald today. So that'll be cool. And yeah, they're back on tour. So everything's coming back. Netflix is throwing back old stuff. Old bands are coming back. So yeah, permission to head into work if you get the possibility to listen to headphones. Throw on what you think your favorite album was when you were 14. I guarantee you'll love it. And that's it. I'm out. Morning Deuce. Tell your hot friends.
Washing windows, making $10 a pop, and he says to me, hey!